All right, let's jump right in. We're going to solve one of the most common puzzles for English learners, and that's the difference between the present simple and the present continuous. I promise, by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one to use to sound completely natural.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the question that gets everyone. Then I'll share the one key idea that makes it all click. After that, we'll look at when to use each tense, and we'll wrap up with some advanced tips that'll really take your English to the next level.
First things first, let's talk about the big question, the one that trips up so many people. And hey, if you've ever felt a little shaky on this, you're in good company. This is a super common hurdle.
So what is the real difference here? You've got I live in Ho Chi Minh City, and then I'm living in Ho Chi Minh City. They sound so similar, don't they? But that tiny change from live to am living, well, it actually creates a whole different meaning. Let's dig into why.
And the answer to that big puzzle? It really all comes down to one single, really powerful idea. Seriously, this is the most important thing to get. If you only remember one thing from our chat today, make it this. And here it is, the secret key. The present simple is for things that feel permanent, long-term facts about your life or about the world in general. But the present continuous, that's for things that are temporary, situations that are just for a short time. That's it. Permanent versus temporary.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's explore the world of the present simple. You're going to see how every single one of its uses ties back to that core idea of something being permanent, factual, or just fixed. The present simple basically has three main jobs. First, it handles general truths and scientific facts, things that are always true. Second, it's for your habits and daily routines, the stuff that's a stable part of your life. And finally, a slightly different one, fixed schedules and timetables. For example, a scientific fact that is never, ever going to change. The sun rises in the east. It's a permanent truth. So boom, present simple, always. Or let's think about a personal habit. I usually wake up at 6 a.m. It's a regular, repeated action. It's just a permanent part of your daily routine.
Now what about the future? This is where it gets interesting. We actually use the present simple for official schedules that are basically set in stone, like the train leaves at 9 tomorrow morning. Because that schedule is fixed, we treat it like it's a permanent fact, even though it's in the future.
All right, let's flip the coin and switch gears to the present continuous. With this tense, our whole mind shift shifts from permanent over to temporary.
The present continuous is your go-to tense for actions happening, well, right this second. It's also perfect for situations that aren't going to last forever, for things that are developing or changing, and, this is a big one, for your own personal plans for the future.
Oh, this is a fantastic side-by-side to show the difference for future events. For that fixed official schedule, we use the simple tense. The concert starts at 8 p.m. But for your personal plan, you use the continuous. We're meeting friends for dinner. See the difference? One's a fixed timetable, the other is your own flexible arrangement.
All right, you've totally got the main rules down, so it's time to level up. This last section is all about those little subtle rules that will make your English sound really, truly authentic. First up, let's talk about something called stative verbs. These are verbs that describe states of being, not actions. Words like know, like, believe, own. Now, since a state isn't really a temporary action, these verbs almost always stick with the present simple. Okay, pop quiz. Take a look at this sentence. Can you spot what's wrong with it? She is knowing the answer. You got it right? Of course, the correct way to say it is, she knows the answer. Why? Because knowing something is a state of mind. It's not an action that you're actively doing right now. So it has to be present simple. But, English just loves its tricky exceptions. Some verbs can actually be both stative and action verbs. Take the word think. When you're just expressing an opinion, it's a state. I think you're right. But when you are actively in the process of considering something, it becomes a temporary action. I'm thinking about moving abroad. Isn't that cool? The tense totally changes the meaning. And here is one final, very human way we use the present continuous that you might not know about. We actually use it to show that we're annoyed or irritated. For instance, when you say, she's always leaving her clothes everywhere, you're using the present continuous with the word always to really emphasize your frustration. It's more than just a habit at that point. It's a complaint. Okay, let's boil all of this down to the key takeaways. Just remember this. Simple present is for things that are permanent, habitual, and factual.
And present continuous is for things that are temporary, happening right now, developing, or personally planned.
Okay, the best way to make all this stuff stick is to actually use it. So let's do that right now. I want you to think about your own life and complete this sentence. Right now, I'm blank, but I usually blank. Personalizing it like this is absolutely the best way to master the difference.